Yep.
Hello, another quality episode of Jabari's Wisdom. This is part 2, kind of, but, I mean, you don't know. You might go home in 30 minutes, and that's just enough time for a quality podcast.
You're not recording this whole time?
No, I was finding when he said my name, deleting that. I probably still wasn't able to delete it. Hey, why am I not? Oh. Thank you. Just continue where you were. Dang, so now it's over. Just gonna start it. Dang. There's some intense stuff you're talking about.
Don't interrupt next time.
Brian's trash. Thinks we actually did well against the Taliban.
You don't?
No, we didn't do well at all.
That was literally just a reenactment of freaking Vietnam.
It basically was. This is Vietnam Part 2.
It
Who funded the
was.
Taliban? United States.
It's not the same as Vietnam.
I mean, it's not exactly the same, but it's the same.
It's the same, almost exactly the same, where we couldn't find these people because we weren't used to the habitat.
It wasn't
And
that
then
big.
we couldn't, like, then the population hated the war.
Oh,
So we didn't, like, get the love.
That's not true.
People got tired.
People
of it.
did not like the...
Changed
The
like
government promised.
No
that it would be
one liked
fast
the
and
war.
Why
it
do you
wasn't
keep
fast.
talking about Iraq?
Iraq's a democracy now.
Who gives a fuck about Iraq?
Is
No
it
one's talking
really
about
democracy?
Iraq. Iraq is one of the strongest countries in the Middle East right now. What are you talking about Iraq for?
They were a dictatorship,
Okay.
not a democracy.
What does that have to do with our military power in the
That's the
region?
American objective.
You're drunk if you think we went there because we wanted to make people democratic.
So we lost the Korean War?
Yes.
No.
Well, I
No.
wouldn't say we completely
The
lost.
Korean
lost.
War, the objective
That
of
was
that era was to stop the spread of communism.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. So what if the American superpower still had to lose 50,000 lives to do it, right? Against little old North Korea.
Oh no,
We lost
50,000
World War II.
is just a number
So we lost
to the
World War
eyes
II.
of the general.
Yeah.
We lost World War II then.
I mean, technically World War II wasn't even our war.
We
We
had,
just
like,
kind of
the-
came in at the
we
last
had like
second.
the least amount of
But
casualties.
we won World
Still
War
lost
II.
a lot of people.
Not
Because
us.
we dropped that
We literally
atomic
won
bomb.
World War II. You
Yeah.
cannot compare Korea, the results of Korea, to the results
Honestly,
of World War II.
World War II made us who we are now because everyone was screwed by World War II, and because we came at the last second, we're like, hey,
I mean,
look at us.
if
We,
Hitler
and then
was
we
not
started giving
dumb-
out loans to everyone, basically. Like,
if
hey,
Hitler
you're,
wasn't
you know,
dumb,
blah, blah, blah,
he
blah,
would
blah.
have just controlled everything.
What?
If Japan and Hitler left America alone,
Dang.
it'd be completely
Let's watch it.
The problem was,
Video.
well, I mean, I thought wasn't there plans to sell weapons to Japan too? But then we did some type of back out deal on Japan or something, and then Japan got pissed.
They
and then
had
bombed us.
documents of America selling the Nazis in Japan.
Yeah,
weapons
exactly.
for
We
so
were
long.
living it up.
That's because
Apparently.
they're just selling stuff. That's what they were always doing.
Okay. Yeah. We care so much about this democracy that was our main objective in the Middle East, but when Hitler is on his
He was
world
a democracy
domination
compared.
conquest,
No one realized.
Let me talk about something. No, do not play
he
a
wasn't a
video.
you
where-
don't think people knew he was a dictator?
He appealed to the people.
Well, the thing was, oh
To
no,
German people.
yeah, to the which is weird.
Wait, what
Because
are we
I would say
even trying to say now?
what I found weird was that like they always make it seem like, oh, Hitler, no one knew that the Jews were this way.
They knew.
But people in Germany, they hated the Jews. They hated them. They knew they were
that's
being
'cause
sent out to the
Hitler-
ghettos and everything. They were like throwing rocks at their shops, like
That's
saying,
'cause
leave
Hitler
our
made it
country.
seem like it was a Jews' problem.
No, but they hated the Jews from the start, though. They hated them. People didn't like the Jews.
How did we get to World War II?
No, that's how Hitler just didn't come out and say,
Oh.
round them up.
Yeah, people
They-
already
there was,
didn't
there
like
was
them.
a campaign to gear the population towards not liking a certain group of people.
That sucks.
So the Jew, like, and then like
That took years.
maybe they didn't know the extent of how much the Jews were being like, killed, but they knew that they
All
were
the
being
countries
like
knew.
screwed over.
All the countries knew that what was happening.
I don't think they knew.
I believe that. I don't. When he says country, I think he means people at the top of the country.
Not like
Yeah.
the average
I don't
American.
believe Winston Churchill
Yeah, they-
and I don't believe that they just had no idea.
Yeah, the average
Millions
citizen
of people,
didn't
all
know.
the spying, all the this and all the that they.
But I
we
mean-
think people spy now.
Yeah.
They spied like crazy back then.
The average
It was probably
citizen
easier,
didn't
too.
know.
You think they had no idea at all? No intel from anyone.
I mean, they knew though, but they wait.
average
But you're making it
citizen-
seem like they knew, and they're like, whatever.
No,
it was it's
us.
hard to
We
do
wouldn't
something
have
about.
known, but like the top leaders, they knew.
They knew
What was happening.
Well, yeah, of course.
And that
But
just
I don't
shows
see-
how
Yeah.
shitty America is. Because look what it took to
Oh,
get us
okay, yeah,
involved.
true,
Look
true.
what it took to
Okay,
get
I see
us
where you're going now.
involved.
To Pearl
We didn't
Harbor.
care at all.
Nope.
Now we want to act all shocked and hunt all the Nazis down. Leave those old people alone.
But you know what I want to say?
I take that back. I was caught up in the moment.
I want to.
Don't leave Nazis alone.
But didn't the president want to get involved, and the
No,
Congress
not first.
didn't let them?
I
Yeah,
thought
With
he.
the war, yeah.
I thought he
Yeah,
didn't want to get involved or something.
No, he did want to get
Yeah,
involved.
but the
Congress
people
wouldn't let him.
didn't want to.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it makes
We
sense.
went
'cause
into
war
our
is
hyper
expensive.
isolationist mode
Yeah.
after World War
That's
I.
why he went through all those acts of the Lend-Lease Act.
Oh, and that's why
Because he
some
was
people
trying
say
to
that
get
he
involved
allowed
without
Japan
sending
to
troops.
like bomb Pearl Harbor. That one
Yeah.
conspiracy. They're like, oh yeah, he did. He allowed it to happen. He knew.
We
how
know
to-
color, though.
I know.
You know.
What?
It's like 9/11 was perfect.
He's the king. He's the king.
They have it in or
Go ahead. I'm open to anything. I
I'm-
don't care.
Well, you know what? You know what
they
conspiracy
have
I
it in
heard?
class or unclassified documents that Japan said they were gonna bomb Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, I heard about that too.
Of course they did. I don't care what
How do they
anyone
not
says.
know?
Any
They
major
know what's
thing
gonna
happening
happen.
on a large scale, the top people know about it.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
But
Every and anything.
And
they
it makes
know.
the country want to go to war.
Yep.
Just
Yeah,
like
I mean, we
every
have-
war we've ever
Look at
been
that.
in.
We have
Look
proof
at
of that.
that.
What's
They
it called?
don't want to go to war in World War II. Look what happened.
Just like
Pearl
nukes.
Harbor.
But I'm
happened.
saying, but
Yeah.
oh
And
no,
now they have to go to
oh
war.
no,
wanna
that
go to the
literally
Middle
happened.
East?
I
It happens
forgot.
over and over.
It happened like there was like 100% proof that happened before. I forgot what ship it was. I don't know if it's USS
All
Maine.
it's not the Lusitania. It's
Yeah, it's something like that where they purposely burned down the ship, killed
Oh, yeah,
people.
yeah.
Specifically, was it because they wanted Florida from Spain or something like that? And they wanted people to be pissed at Spain. So they're like, oh, yeah, they bombed our ship.
Lusitania, I think.
No.
No, that's
Right?
I was in like
No.
Greenland area. That's
yeah.
like
But they had the whole thing about like remember
Great
the
Britain.
whatever it's.
Yeah, I thought it was the USS Maine.
yeah, it's the main.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
literally they
Remember
they
the Maine.
purposely bombed it. It was us
Never
that
It's
bombed their
literally
own people.
known.
Every single war.
Yellow journalism to boost circulation.
Yep.
Claimed the Spanish were responsible for
Look
the
up
ship's
the
destruction.
how we went into Vietnam. The same thing happened. We pretended to blow up a ship.
and it's Kuwait too. Same thing
Yep.
in Kuwait.
Yep.
they knew nukes. Germany was building nukes. So we're like, oh, we got to build it before them to use it.
Of course they. How you know that
Yeah, they
Germany is leading the nuclear race
And
or
didn't
whatever?
the same thing
How
happen-
you know that and you steal their lead scientist, Albert Einstein,
Didn't the same
but you
thing-
don't know they're killing millions of Jews?
Didn't the same thing happen with World War One when a U-boat sunk a ship of ours?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was
Right?
the Lusitania
Yeah.
thing.
But then they argued that. So they tried to say that they shot at civilians, but it actually was carrying shit.
Oh, it was killing military supplies.
It was carrying like
Yeah,
military
yeah,
supplies,
yeah.
but they tried to act like they were shooting.
Yeah.
There was
civilians.
civilians on the ship or whatever.
Yeah, but they knew there were military supplies on that motherfucker.
Yeah, and because I remember that Germany said any aid
Yep.
will get shot down.
Yeah.
They will
And then when it got shot down,
because you're aiding their enemies.
yeah, and when it got shot
And when it got
down-
shut down, all of a sudden it's filled with citizens.
yeah, and then we had to go to war.
It's
But
crazy.
You know they sent that submarine in to get shot, or whatever, Lusitania to get shot down.
Yep.
Really?
They knew it would get shot at. That's why they filled.
But
it
that's
with-
why-
They have master intel on so many things.
That's
it's just,
what-
it's weird to me that randomly things happen and they have no idea.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
But
They
that's
know.
and then it's that's just fun. I want
But,
to be
okay,
president
I
just
lied,
so I
'cause
You know,
know.
also-
Albert Einstein was a refugee, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So I take it back.
Hold on.
Oink.
I've been on high-end nuclear submarines.
How all of a sudden?
No, I'm not.
Why
I'm
would
saying
they
how
say?
much
Hey,
you
he's
live
told
on
the
this
United
thing.
States.
Oh yeah, don't you have to be a certain height
Yeah.
in order to be on a
what?
submarine?
You're
to be
the
on a
perfect
submarine.
height.
Yeah.
Go join the Navy.
Sucks to
on a
be
submarine.
evolved.
I mean, if you want to be in a little tube underwater.
Have you heard about the
Easily
Indian
sunk
submarine
wall.
where they
No, that
sunk their
hair
own
makes you too
submarine?
tall.
Dang,
You know,
well, that's
we've
weird.
done that.
Really?
What did
left-
you say?
The
'Cause they
United
sunk a
States have
new
sunk
submarine.
in the dry dock.
Literally, the main blew up because of a fire in the coal bunker
Yeah, it was a fire.
on the inside of the
But
ship.
then they changed that around. They're like,
They said they bombed it.
hey, could you imagine, like, what they blamed it on the Spanish, right?
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine the Spanish reading this headline, like, what the heck is this? Like, what?
It's like a bullcrap.
Why don't they say? I wonder they're the ones who said that it was a lie. Like, they're the ones who paid the journalists to write the thing.
Probably.
Because, like, if I was a Spanish, like, government official, I'm like, I wonder how many times
I mean,
we've been just
different
lied
countries
to.
have fake
We're
news.
lied to every day. Period.
Yeah.
Different countries have fake news, what they want to be like. Spread.
I mean, I read something. It's so weird. Apparently, China on their some type of news organization, they said that Rome was built by ancient Chinese settlers. Rome and Greece. You know about that? So if you're Rome and Greece, you're technically Asian.
I mean, even
Dang.
soccer. Spain has the worst fake news about soccer players. They will like lie about who wants to leave just to like spread to other teams across the country, all of Europe.
That's just regular
Yeah,
journalism. That's just
Yeah,
regular
that's just bad
news.
journalism.
That's just regular sports journalism.
So-
It's just
Trying
what
to
they do.
create confusion and narratives.
But we
to
do that here
steer
too.
the
Like say,
sport
like
in a certain
in
way.
America, where they're like, "Oh, did Justin Bieber do this with his wife?"
But
or
if you're
whatever?
talking about fake news sports, you're talking about North Korea, where they won the World Cup.
Yeah.
That's like
They beat United
saying,
States, like,
"Oh, it's
5-0
Cristiano."
in the final.
Dang.
Did you hear
It sounds
about,
like Ronaldo's in talks to go to.
They
You know,
beat
that's
United
different.
States in the final. That's what they said.
You said what?
North Korea beat United States in the final of the World Cup.
It must be.
But
nice
what's
to
so
live in
crazy,
North Korea.
what I don't get is like, what if all of the stuff we know about North Korea is just another lie fed to us about the U.S.
What if
Dang.
North Korea
And
was
North
top
Korea's-
end?
North Korea's actually like top end.
Yeah.
They're crazy
Everyone's
progressive.
living good.
They're like it's like a
Aliens.
Shangri-La, like a
What if they're all
like an
aliens?
Well, it's the
Atlantis
thing-
above
well,
water.
we do have some weird like
That's not-
propaganda like that, where like say most Americans think China's just a trash country, but China's literally not even that bad. Like it's just a
China
regular
has the
country.
fastest growing middle
Yeah,
class in
exactly.
the world.
Like we still talk about China like, oh, they are just trash, but it's like,
while we're
they-
still stuck with ours.
yeah, where it's like,
Yeah.
I think like in a way, America, like the officials, like that's why we're banning a lot of things because they're afraid now that like China's catching up, China and
We're
America's
about to
slowing
have
down.
World War
We're catching
III with
up,
China.
and it's
And it's crazy.
I don't like Chinese leadership. Never will.
Mm.
They're trash. But it's pretty cool how like that country got shit on.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
That country got invaded. It got divvied up, divided up, spread
Yeah.
between a bunch of different countries, and
We
somehow
don't
they have like the least like ground foundation to start on, and they're like
I mean, China
leading
helped
the
us
Well, I
win
think
World War
that's.
II.
It's
I
also
am-
like the African countries. The development of a lot of the African countries is like crazy
And they did
fast.
have
Oh yeah, and
Civil
China's
War
helping
not
with
that long
Africa
ago,
now,
too.
which
Oh,
is weird.
yeah.
They're doing like this weird colonialism now.
China
Oh,
helped
go-
us beat
you talking about
Japan.
weird? I went to Panama. My dad's from Jamaica. My mom's from Panama. But the amount of Chinese people in Jamaica and Panama and other Caribbean islands is ridiculous.
Well, it's the same. Like when I
They
look at,
own everything.
yeah,
They own all the shops.
it's the same with-
all the bakeries. All the. It's so weird.
and it's the same in Canada.
Ching,
Canada
ching,
apparently
yum,
they
on.
own 40% of the real estate or something like that. Yeah, or it might be even higher of the real estate in Canada. We're just like, what? So they can just be like, no.
You know how there was talks of them wanting to build a second canal?
Oh, in Panama?
Not in Panama, in like Costa Rica or something. Like that.
Dang.
There's no point now, bro.
Yeah, since we have planes.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
What do you
there
mean?
are
Are
still
you kidding
ships
me?
used for.
Panama, it's still like
You know how much money goes through boats in the sea?
But that's so much
Disgusting
longer.
amounts.
It's easier to like fly a plane for California, Virginia, and just put
What
it
can
on
you?
a-
how
Well,
much
no,
space can
it's
you
not
carry
as
in a
expensive
high
because for big
Brian.
cargo though,
Brian,
they still need ships.
They stack the shit.
you know
out
how
of
much
shit.
that
True.
boat can carry?
Have you seen the
Compared to a
newest?
Think about putting on one of those big carriers,
But
whatever's on that, in a plane.
Have you seen that?
How are you gonna? What
the
size
new big
plane
one,
are you?
the one that's taller than the freaking Empire State Building.
What?
There's a new cargo ship
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
longer than the Empire State Building that's being built right now.
Yeah, they can carry
It's
like, and they can
freaking
stack it like
huge.
super high too.
I'm
They're
like, what the
huge,
heck is that
A
ship?
BMW one came out through when I was there. That thing was massive.
And that's not even the biggest ones. That's the crazy
Yeah.
thing.
I think they said like they got like because every ship has to pay a fee to pass through, and I think the most in one time was like 3, 4, or 5 million or something by one ship to get through because of its weight.
Which is probably nothing compared to what they make.
Yeah, true.
Because, like, 10 boxes is probably $5 million.
Oh, if the U.S. was still running that shit, that price would be.
Everybody runs that. Ain't nobody own that. I mean, somebody owns it, but, like, so many ships go
They're
through
paying
that.
for other.
If somebody tried to control that, somebody would kill somebody.
What do you mean? Panama does.
I know that, but I'm saying, like,
It's run by the
there's
secret-
nobody that's not allowed to go
the
through
secret
there.
people that actually own the
Oh
world.
yeah, of course not. No one's not allowed.
If somebody was
The
like,
Patriots.
we're United States, no Chinese ships are allowed to go through
Or the
here, it'd be
Illuminati.
World War III. That would make the economy completely change.
I mean, the Illuminati actually own it.
You know, there's some weird conspiracy, which is it makes sense now. It's starting to make sense because they're saying like there are 3 of the great superpowers, which are the U.S., England, and the alliance between
England?
Germany and France. And it makes sense because they say
England's a
England.
superpower?
Yeah, they say England has one of the top economies. I'm like, what's from England?
Well,
Remember we talked about this?
Yeah.
There was
They
nothing.
don't really though. We just looked it up. They don't really.
No, but they're somehow still relevant.
do you know that?
And they're saying the
economy-
reason why
Hold
they're
on, hold
relevant
on,
is
hold on.
because their
Hold on.
colonialism in all these countries.
Oh.
They like planted seeds basically, or they have like these countries owe them.
Yeah. What do you think? So.
Like even like say China or
It's
Russia
like
or whatever.
what China's doing right now is like in Africa and the Caribbean. What they're doing is they're telling the people who. That's why the middle class is growing so much
Yeah.
with Chinese citizens, because they're telling the people who don't have anything, if you take your family, we'll give you space in Africa that we bought.
Mm-hmm.
You can live there, build your business, build more businesses or whatever, bring your other family over, and then you send money back.
And then it's the same thing. Like they'll build like say in Africa, they'll go over like, oh, we'll build this bridge for you. They're like, thank you. Oh my gosh, we'll build this bridge. And then it's done. You're like, you know that cost. I'm like, you're gonna have to pay tax for that. They're like, oh, okay, we have to because they already built it. And then
That means
that's just
nothing.
it does.
They do
It
stuff
means
like that.
everything.
They do stuff like that all the time. Like they'll bring, for example, bus systems
Mhm.
to countries. Bus systems. They'll bring you bus system. However, you don't own the bus system. All the money goes to them. They keep
Yeah.
all of the money.
I get that.
They're
I'm
in
just
the secret
saying.
organization.
I'm not saying it's wrong.
When it comes down to it, whoever has the biggest military owns everything.
I
Does
mean-
it matter really? I mean, as long as you have nuclear weapons,
No.
True.
how does the size of the military matter?
Because you can shoot nuclear weapons out of the air.
Yeah, I mean, we have one of the. They say like, if we got like, if North Korea shot a missile at us, it wouldn't make it out of like Japanese air.
Well, that's
water.
because it wouldn't make it out of there in the first place.
No, actually,
Probably
yeah.
just shoot it right at the launch pad.
Would you be assassinated? In movies, like spy stuff is like scary, but in real life, that must be like.
You know what's the
Well, that's the
craziest
thing-
part now? Japan wants to be our biggest ally right now.
They are.
Because
we
of
own Japan.
We owe Japan.
Own.
We,
Oh,
well, we already
okay.
own Japan after we
They're
beat
not
them,
allowed to
basically.
have a
Yeah, we
military.
went
I
in
mean,
there.
but they-
we
No,
they're-
well, they have one basically now.
It's United States though.
Yeah.
But it is also they are such a like an island nation.
You know,
that
Japan's like a
we-
super producer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
United
they're-
States.
They
producer.
know they're in danger because they're in range
Yeah.
of nuclear missiles, and now we're like, Japan.
I mean,
It's
after
like
you
come
put
to us. and we can protect
And we
them.
put that missile defense system in Turkey, didn't we?
Yeah, but
Like,
that's
well,
not.
how do you
for-
put it in
hot
the
war
Turkey?
areas.
But that's not for Japan.
Yeah, that's
I know,
cool.
but that's what I'm saying. They
Our
saw
largest like non-mainland missile defense system, or our best, is in Turkey.
that. Yeah, but I was just
That's why
saying,
we
like,
have tons of Air Force stations there.
it's probably like Japan probably wants that.
Like even Landon got sent to Turkey, right?
Oh, yeah.
What do you say?
Landon got sent to Turkey.
Oh yeah.
Because it's about to go down.
But that's what sucks. Is that that's what it's like? Oh, cool, I get to live in Turkey for the next 5 years. It's like, yeah, but you're literally on our largest nuclear missile defense system. Right? It's like, ooh.
But I do find it crazy. Like we have so many like missile launches. Like I'm not missile launches, but like spacecraft going up to space, going in orbit, and we don't know what those things are in there. Because it happens every single day. We're sending more stuff up there. You don't know what. Because there's so many satellites.
That's fact.
Wait, what are you trying to say?
I'm just saying that there's so many things orbiting us
Stuff
right now
happens
that we
every
don't
day
know about.
That
We're
would
fighting
fuck
the
our
Reapers
mind
right
if
now.
we
Dang. So one day it's just gonna.
We're gonna hear it.
Just
like-
We're gonna hear it.
You know,
You're
I
just
feel
gonna
like
see
there
the
has
Normandy
been
come down.
Yeah.
so many like world domination attempts like thwarted by governments all
Yeah.
around the world.
And then it's crazy because war is going to be different now because there's so much like robotic
You know what
kind
they
of
say
stuff
is
now.
The biggest threat is cyber.
Yeah, that's what they say. That's what I was trying to bring up. Like everything's like more computer related now. So it's like,
That's why Russia.
for example,
made
Russia.
Trump president.
I think Russia realized war's not fought on the battleground
They
anymore.
literally
Now it's
made
just
Trump
fought.
president.
It's fought on the computer.
That's
It's-
the one I see.
known that Russia made Trump president.
yeah,
People
and,
don't care.
look what they did.
People
They
don't care.
did it. They literally did it.
What do you mean no? It's known color.
Yeah.
China is
Color.
so much more.
It's
I kinda
known that Russia
They
made
are.
Trump president.
They said China's
I know China.
like,
Literally, that's what I'm
gives, like,
saying.
$1 billion
China.
a month.
That's what we're
for
afraid of.
hacking.
And then China, like, I was about to bring that up, which is crazy. Like, I'm okay with the Chinese students.
Yeah, I
but I
think
just find it
Chinese hackers
crazy
are, like, a
that there
huge
are
deal.
so many students in CS or whatever that are just Chinese.
From like,
And I'm just like, is this not a weird
always
thing
in
that like they're
cybersecurity.
sending their people to our country and then they're going back to China, like to basically screw us? Which I'm like, I don't care because it doesn't really
Well, I mean, if you work
affect.
at that high of a level,
But it's
I
like
would
it's
be able
crazy.
to-
At the same
And I'm-
time, we got great military.
No, we got you.
inventions.
to
I want to
protect
see
us.
That's
what
what
that
makes,
Dang,
that's what
okay.
makes like the
And
defense.
I'm gonna go to China for the money,
Like-
and then it's just
Counterintelligence
more
in
to
the U.S.
protect
is
us.
so hard
dang.
Yeah.
because we have all kinds of people here, and it's normal for them to be here. If we send a white dude to China,
Well, because it's-
every move he makes, people are gonna turn.
well, I feel like, but that's different because we're so used to the diversity. But in China, it's literally just Chinese people.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
Is that's why
What do you
counterintelligence
mean?
is so
You
hard.
don't need to
Oh.
send people to a country to hack them.
I'm not saying to hack.
You can just.
You're just saying, like, if like,
Oh, like,
people
for
come
example-
here all the time to learn how to learn cybersecurity and all that. But if we were to send somebody over there to learn cybersecurity, they would be
I
super
guarantee
confused.
if there was like some bright, first off, anybody going to China for school, that's a red flag.
That's a red flag.
That's a red flag. They're investigating the mess out of that person.
But then it's also like, for example, like a bunch of places here have like the Confucius Institute, which is meant to spread the Chinese
Mason has
culture. Yeah, Mason, that's where I go for the drawing. But there are allegations where they're like,
Oh my
these
God.
are used for Chinese
He's a
spies.
Japanese spy. Look at his shirt.
Dang.
Jabari, get out.
Conversation has ended.
But,
Alright.
but as they demonstrated, we do the same thing.
Yeah.
When we vet people hard. If there's any question, we vet them hard. Like disappear for a week type hard.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I don't know anything about the world except for nothing.
You wouldn't know. You're not one of those people that would know.
That's
I know.
why I want to just become president, just so
So
I
I'm
know.
about to shoot you
Just so I
with
can
a
be.
President who probably doesn't even know.
Yeah,
No.
that's the thing.
He's
They
just
fill
a
him in on a
face.
lot of-
He's probably just a face.
He knows a lot. They feel the president. I'm sure they
Yeah,
feel the
I mean,
president.
yeah,
a
but he
lot.
But I'm wondering
Yeah,
how
there's
much they
some
hide
stuff-
from him.
No,
they probably
don't.
hide a ton.
But I'm
They don't
wondering
feel the
also
president
who are
and
the people
stuff
who are
like that.
hiding the top stuff? Like who are the people who
Patriot.
know the
people
top
that actually run
stuff?
the world.
Like
No,
It's like the group of like actual
Right.
like you know
Put
the
your
top
hat on.
5-star general for this country or the leading
Where is it?
physicist for China or the leading
Yeah, because there has to be some
engineer
person
for-
that they do tell. Like let's just say we found aliens just orbiting.
There are aliens.
There is someone
There are aliens.
who knows. And who are these people who know?
There's no way. We probably communicate to aliens.
I know, because there's so much stuff that happens in space that we
there
probably
has
don't know
to
about.
be aliens
Yeah.
in Area 51.
Because, like, one...
That's not cliche anymore.
They probably
Has to
communicate.
be. What's the point of having these miles of
Well-
nothing on top?
But think of
But
this.
as
Hold
soon
on.
as you
Hold on.
step into the line, 50
Hold on.
black SUVs roll up and
Hold
tell
on.
you to turn around.
Think about
And then
it.
there is something I also don't get.
Nothing there. Okay.
This will be probably my most controversial science thing of all time. Even as a space lover as myself, there's literally no reason to go into space. No reason. Maybe orbit, but to study the planets a billion miles away, what's the freaking point?
I'm
We're
good.
not going to get there.
Well, not
So
just
what's the
that.
point?
I don't want to alert.
Why
There
do people
has to
want to
be
even go
things
in?
else.
Yeah, I know. That just.
I
wraps
just
up.
want us
I'm
to
100%
hide
with Jabari.
and just keep.
Yeah, literally,
ourselves
what's
here.
the point? Like,
There's no
on the
point.
moon, why do we even need to be on the moon? Other than being like, we went there.
But this is the thing, Jabari.
We spent so much
Hold
money
on.
to get there.
What if
Why?
the moon
Stuff.
or like
Why do we
There,
even...
man.
Why do we even study space?
What are they already on the moon spying on us?
Exactly. Why do we even want to go to Mars? What's the point? What
But
is
what
the
if
point?
they
Earth
know-
is perfect for
They
us.
know that there's stuff.
There's something.
There's
That's my
something.
thing.
It's not really perfect for us if we keep screwing it up.
No, we won't screw it up.
We
There
already
is,
are
it's,
screwing it up.
we're screwing it up, but look, honestly, this is another controversial. Even though the
Hold on,
world,
can I
like,
say
I
something?
love the world, blah, blah,
Can
blah,
I
blah,
say
blah.
something?
But global warming, we will adapt.
We
If the
only have
world gets
12
hotter,
years to
we
figure
will
it out.
adapt.
We already. Global warming is not a new thing.
Yeah, it's like, and then there's
Ice
not even...
age is like combats global warming.
Well, people say that they're like there's a chance like because there's no like definite proof of global warming. Like I believe in global warming, of course, or climate change,
Not if you're Trump.
but there's no definite proof
Okay,
like that.
everybody
It's not
believes and
a
it could
regional
be
thing
true,
or not
at the
regional, but
same
like a.
time, it's like
It's true.
But there's no
Part
Yeah,
of
that's
Earth's
the thing.
natural
There's no-
life
yeah. There's a
cycle.
Yeah.
some people there
Well,
there are
Earth
can
Earth's
just
life
go-
cycle.
there are studies that
Yeah.
show there is a life cycle of like
Earth.
But
rise
it's
and
not supposed to be
fall.
this, like hot.
But there's no way we can show that
Yeah,
it's not
that's
just
true.
either
we
this is a
haven't lived.
specific thing because of us,
Yeah, 'cause
or
our
because
technology
we are
is-
just going
we
higher.
haven't
technology
lived long
to
enough.
stop, yeah, the
Our
technology
humans
to
haven't
study
lived.
it hasn't been around long enough. to be
Exactly.
able
So
to
there's
study
no way
the
for us
trend.
to have like
That's
enough
not true.
data.
Then how do we study fossils? How do we study
And then that's another thing.
We find ways to carbon date back to study things that happened in the past. How do we know how long the Earth was here? How do we know how?
that's different. That's
But I do have to
We're
say,
talking about
I have to
was it
figure
what-
out.
What's
I got it. Dinosaurs told us. Dinosaurs are still alive.
Dang,
They told us what's happening.
they're the lizard men.
Yeah.
Dang, it all makes sense.
Yeah, we're about to hear it
Shut
not.
up, your
We're about to hear it not,
podcast.
guys. I'm not listening to things.
It all
are you
makes
a
sense.
dinosaur?
Get away
I'm
from
just
that.
coming out. Yeah,
Dang.
And I hear it not, I'm gone.
Dinosaur.
Wait a
You'll
minute.
never
Wait a
see it
minute.
again.
Think about it. Why do we need global? Why is global warming so ignored? Because they're cold-blooded. They need the warmth. Think about it.
Isn't it?
I'm
hotter
not
on the
listening.
Dying right
crust?
now because you're a dinosaur?
What you say?
It's hotter.
No, but they want to live
We're
on
not
the, they
getting
want to live
Jabari
on the
tomorrow.
crust.
Jabari's
On the
gone.
top. The reason why they want to live on the top, like the reason why global warming keeps getting higher and higher and no one seems to care is because they want it to get hotter. Because they're cold-blooded. They don't want the cold. Because the cold will kill them.
Jabari's
Remember
gone.
me. Remember me, people. I'm gonna die.
Jabari's gone tomorrow.
I figured it out.
I think Jabari just
Figured
takes
it all
like
out.
acid and comes over here and you get drunk.
That's why he doesn't drink.
But there is something else. Think about it. I keep having to say this because I don't want people to think I'm like being serious with the dinosaur thing. I believe in dinosaurs,
Who doesn't?
but still,
I know. Who
I know.
there were things living before us that were bigger than this house, just walking around. Multiple, just herds of them, just walking around.
Do you think they had scales or feathers?
And there's a chance they have feathers. That's even crazier. They're just walking around. These things huge. There are birds the
Huge
size of an
chickens.
aircraft just flying around. This is just like, if you could go back in time and just see that, just like little skyscrapers just
Well, there's
walking
no
around.
point for us to be that big. That's why we're not that big.
Why?
Yeah.
They just all died off because of an asteroid that happened to happen.
Because we don't fight each other.
You know
Well,
why?
didn't things get
We-
bigger then? What changed between then and before?
So this is where
They-
Why did
what
the
they say-
dinosaurs
hold
need
on.
to get
What
big,
they
but
say
things
was that-
after the dinosaurs
that-
didn't need to get
You don't
big.
think
No, they say the
everything's
reason
smaller?
why it got the reason why it got smaller is because
We're smaller than
an asteroid
gorillas.
hit. It wasn't that impact
We
that
didn't
killed
come
us.
from
It was the
gorillas.
smoke that caused and like basically put a pocket of smoke
we
around the
came
Earth
from a
and made the Earth colder
ancestor.
because the sunlight couldn't get through. And something oxygen got less oxygen, something bullcrap. But that's not it. This is what happened. We were planted here
By aliens.
by aliens. The same
That's
aliens.
what the asteroid was.
Yeah.
The asteroid
Was it
was
just-
us. We hit Earth. And then the aliens got their blasters out. And then the Reapers came.
We're done
That's it.
for.
What if we are Saiyans? What if we're Saiyans?
Yeah, that's it.
What if
Dragon Ball
there
Z
is our own
was
race?
telling us this whole time.
Brian, put your hat on. I want to shut it off.
You think there's a reason why we are so stop? We
It
can
didn't
stop.
shoot.
There's a reason why we are drawn to superpowers because we have it on the other Earth,
Dang.
and this is our genetics telling us. Have you ever noticed? We evolve without anything. Somehow our brains are getting bigger, and our heads are getting smaller, whatever. Our jaws are getting smaller, but that's not because of like, what's it called?
I don't even know.
Darwinism? You know how they say basically how stuff evolves, that the strong live or whatever.
Oh.
But we don't have any more strong living. Everyone's living now.
Yes, there is.
What? There's no.
It is different now because now
Yeah.
we're having cures for diseases.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
Everyone's surviving, but somehow we're still evolving. You know why we're still evolving?
Are we evolving though? If we were
Aliens.
evolving, there would be no diseases.
You know why there's still
necessarily.
diseases?
Yeah. That's,
Aliens.
or at least the same diseases that have been here for years.
AIDS.
That's
Aliens.
a new thing, isn't it?
What?
AIDS.
Yeah, which is weird. AIDS is like a relatively new. Is it? Yeah.
Well, they do say that.
I thought
with
it's
the
AIDS is like
advancement-
relatively new.
70s or 60s.
The first cases were like the 60s.
Yeah, which is crazy.
But they do say that because.
Well, when
we
I say
use
relatively new, I mean the
antibiotics-
60s. Like it's not like some
That's
old
new.
disease.
That's new. Though.
Yeah, exactly. That's
60s
pretty
is new.
crazy. That just
It's-
before there weren't sexual diseases apparently, like maybe like weird like warts or whatever, but like there weren't like you
No,
died.
I think there were. I mean,
Were there?
I think that's why people died so young. All the
No, I
comic-
thought people died so young because their health was just so trash.
But that's
That
part of the
knows
reason why people go
years.
years with syphilis
Yeah.
without knowing why, and they start going crazy. The Mad King in Game of Thrones. The Mad
Yeah.
Mhm.
Spoiler.
Went crazy. His name's the Mad King.
Literally take your
And
ball
Daenerys
sack
dies.
and throw it on Brian's forehead. Like a frisbee. Just
Um,
throw it out, hit him in the forehead, and pull it back. Like a
It makes
fishing
sense.
pole.
But they do say
Why
that
people die.
because we're so reliant on antibiotics that our antibiotics.
That's why
are
I
getting
don't take
weaker,
antibiotics.
So
What is-
we're
what is it called?
so people are dying to diseases that
What's that
people
one?
used
MRSA.
to die to a long time ago.
Some MRSA is a big problem.
Well, that's the cool thing about bacteria though, is that
They evolve.
bacteria
yeah,
can
that
evolve
makes sense.
so quickly. Like
the reason
they're-
why people didn't die to those diseases all this time was because of the antibiotics. If they weren't taking the antibiotics, they
Yeah.
would have all died already.
But they are suggesting. But
But
I
you know
guess
what-
what I'm saying is like instead of letting our bodies like eventually.
No, that's
become
not how
immune-
that works.
That's
though.
like years.
Yeah,
disease.
We're not talking
resist-
about the same diseases like the Black Plague or whatever, because that's
What are you
different.
talking about?
Everybody's gonna die of the Black Plague
Give me
no
one
matter
example.
what.
Not today. People
They're
live.
talking about like
What do we
I
say?
guess not dying per se, but like
People
becoming
live.
worse off from just like the common cold. You're getting worse
I
off.
think what
than
he's
you
trying to
would've
say
been.
is
yeah. Well,
when we take
Because we're too
that-
reliant
it
on
makes sense,
antibiotics
because, like-
taking
hold
care
on.
of it for us.
when we take antibiotics,
Or, yeah.
it makes the antibiotics
The antibodies.
they evolve because
To
they're
be
going
resistant
against-
to it.
Yeah, and they turn into super bugs.
Yeah.
So we're basically giving ourselves
Mhm.
a super antibiotic to take, which makes them evolve because bacteria can evolve so quick,
Okay.
and then it turns into a super bug,
Okay.
and then
Just one thing. The common cold is a virus.
well, the common
I know,
cold
but
isn't
I'm not
a.
saying that.
And then the common cold isn't like one specific virus. It's like
I know, but
it's
I'm
a
saying-
different virus
all
each
I'm
year,
trying
basically.
to say is that some
I'm pretty
people
sure.
use
right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, ever changing.
Like when you go to the doctor for like if you have strep throat or whatever else, they're not gonna put you on an antibiotic right away because they don't, unless you like I don't know, unless you're rich and you pay them to give you an antibiotic right away, they're not gonna do it because they want your body to build the immunity. Yeah. But if you just go right ahead and just take antibiotics right away, your body's not gonna build the immunity.
Well, I thought the
and
point
then it's gonna be like lazy in a way. So then when you do get
Vaccines
strep throat
are
again,
different.
it's going to be like significantly
okay.
worse.
Vaccines is actually a virus being put into you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, vaccines are
that's
way
why
different.
viruses. Bacteria. The bacterial stuff makes sense in this argument, but the virus stuff doesn't.
But you can do it with
Because that's
viruses too.
But that's what vaccines are for.
Well, vaccines
Well,
is an
yeah.
actual
There's
virus.
a reason why you don't get chickenpox after having the chickenpox vaccine one time. You don't have to keep getting the vaccine. It's because after you ingested the virus one time, your body formed a resistance to it forever.
Yeah.
So, but the common cold is interesting because it keeps mutating
changing,
on its
yeah.
own.
But I thought it's not even that it keeps
That's why it's
mutating.
not
It's that the
curable.
common cold, the reason why it's not curable is because it's a separate virus a lot of the time. Like maybe 2009, it was this virus AB. But today, it might be virus FR. Like it's a completely different virus. That's just the common cold that everyone's catching today.
I think part of it's mutation.
Yeah.
I think that's true too.
Yeah,
It's just
because like
completely different.
it could be spread by like say a airport, and like someone brings some new virus, and everyone gets sick from that.
But that's, I don't know, because that's like similar to the flu. The flu is actually different viruses.
Yeah, and I thought the
think
common cold is the same
just,
thing.
You just don't.
No, the common cold's the same thing as the flu.
Yeah.
But it's
The flu's just
is
worse.
a worse strain of like.
Cancer
So-
versus.
If that's the case, how do people keep contracting the new ones?
What do you mean?
Flu or the common cold?
The new flus, like every time, because I think it's because new people coming to the country or whatever.
How did they get it?
Because I think
There shouldn't be just a certain type
yeah.
of flu for geographical reasons.
No, but
If you see,
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
see what you
saying.
mean.
so this whole neighborhood.
Well, I get
everybody
it.
it just mutates.
Well, I
One
thought it's
person
because
can
like.
But that's what you guys just said.
I-
It's not that it's mutating; it's a completely different
Well, I thought.
strain.
But
In
it
a way-
mutates into a new strain. That's how it does.
Now I'm not a geneticist or some doctor crap, but the way I'm thinking about it, it's like.
viruses.
Well, I don't know.
Eh.
I mean,
Don't those study genes?
I mean, viruses can affect your
Same thing.
genes.
Okay.
They do destroy genes.
Yeah.
But they would study the effect of viruses on genes, not just viruses.
Well, I mean, I feel like all doctors study the way that stuff gets spread, sick-wise,
Okay.
when they're undergraduate or some bullcrap.
All I know
I feel
is
like there's a more technical
there's
term
some-
for it.
But
country somewhere. Just
but
sending
the way
out
I'm
new
thinking
flu.
about it is like if they're in some country,
Maybe it's
very
not
very
better.
dirty area or something, bacteria infects the person. Maybe it comes off a pig. Maybe it comes off a plant. Maybe it's just in the water, but they catch it. Cough cough. Another person catch cough cough, and then like plague ink
But that's
spread.
bacteria. Virus is different.
Well, then how does a
after
virus
you-
start in the first place? Then?
That's my question. Because
Oh.
after you contract a virus,
I'm gonna
you
ask
shouldn't
Cora.
be able, if you live, to get it again. In those type of viruses.
What do you mean? Get it again?
Viruses mutate.
Well, it's like
No, but I'm saying there are multiple. There's not just one virus for the entire
Well,
world. There's like
it's
multiple.
when
How?
you go to get a
That's
flu
my
shot.
Oh, how?
There should be.
Oh,
why is the
you
number
should've got
infinite?
killed.
Why
You
should
should've got
if-
killed.
Wait,
There
what?
shouldn't, by your logic, we hit a year where we've been exposed to all the strains.
No, but there are
Strains
new.
and
But what I'm
mutating
confused about,
forever.
which I think is the same thing you're saying, I guess, is that how does a virus even start?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
where does a
that
virus
too.
start from?
But it's also
Okay,
like
did the
they s-
chicken? Was it the chicken or the egg came first?
No, well, that's different because, like, we like say. I guess that's the same.
No, you
Yeah.
can get where
Did the chicken or the egg
No.
come first?
You
No.
can get where
No.
bacteria start from. That you can understand.
And viruses
Well, how does
are
bacteria
living.
start?
Viruses just
Bacteria's actual living organisms.
yeah.
Viruses
Bacteria,
like
Same with
a
the
random-
virus.
bacteria is like
random
stem
thing.
from like electrical current / mixture of nutrients combine to form cells that develop into
yada yada yada.
Yeah, but a virus is
bacteria are living things.
Yeah. Viruses aren't.
I'm pretty sure a virus come from.
Viruses are just
viruses can act like a living thing, but they're not living, which is crazy.
The basic makeup of a virus is like a protein outer shell with a DNA
which is weird because
inside.
we don't count that as a living thing, but in a way, I mean, it could count as a living thing. I mean, I guess that defines that's more of a philosophical thing.
Infects
what counts as living?
A living cell and then causes it to make more viruses.
Which is crazy. That's all happening from something just not living. It's just
it just like plugs into it and then takes over.
Because it's the same thing. Like we're just a bunch of cells, which are all a bunch of non-living things, but we create
something.
We're so
lucky we weren't born as a fucking.
I know.
I think about I every day. I'm like, thank God.
I mean, I'm glad I'm not living in the ocean. The ocean, that's some crazy stuff. Have you seen like those things that like look like ground, and then they just eat you? You're just dead.
Dude, every time I'm out on the deck and I just stomp on some bug, or I take like the ashtray and I just slam on some bug or something, I'm like. Sucks, man. I'm sorry.
There was something that happened on campus
and
which was crazy.
Minding his business, and then it's just dead.
Yeah, that happened to me because I was on campus and I was just like reading, looking on my laptop or whatever, and a big freaking one of those big ants kind of walked. Maybe it was a termite or something. I was like, ew! And I just stomped on it, and then it was like still alive. Alive.
I'm
and
like,
then,
does it hurt?
Yeah, and then one ant saw it dead. It was like, oh crap! It walked to it and started dragging it like a freaking like wounded soldier, and then more ants started coming around to investigate. I was like, what the? And then more came. I was like, crap! I had to move because like they were about to all come on me. I was like, what the heck? The ants are evolving.
It's just like no ants actually. Ants have like the fastest like evolution chain or something like that. Like people who it's okay. I lied. It's not that they evolve faster, it's that they die faster.
Which allows them
the weaker die faster.
Yeah.
So which is almost like a bacteria.
Faster.
So the reason why we take forever is because our lifespans are like 80 years.
Yeah.
So the faster you breed, the better.
Mm-hmm. The faster you breed, and they breed, and their kids breed.
Which is crazy.
The more mutations you can shoot.
At some point, we were just a little nothing.
That's why when
and that was how many years ago? Billions of years ago?
That's why like fish, they have like so many eggs.
Yeah, because most of them are gonna die.
Yeah, most of them are just gonna die, and then you have like the few strong ones.
Yeah, we used to be like fish.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying like in the Black Plague era, we had so many children because like most of them just died. Like, oh,
are you kidding? I went to Burger King today with Alan, and this one lady had 6 kids with her.
Oof.
Like a 7-month-old, and the highest was a 4-year-old.
Dang,
and
that's like, a lot in a couple of years. Oh yeah, but there's one thing weird. The Black Plague, they said 2/3 of Europe died from it. You know how many like different like just family histories just dead, just like that. And it's like there were probably so many different types of looking people that we would have had today because there are different like strands of families or whatever, or different type of genetic like whatever, and they're just gone.
Yeah.
Like entire genes just dead forever.
There's a reason.
Yeah, they were douchebags. They enslaved us. We got our revenge.
That was before they enslaved us. That's why we got enslaved.
Yeah.
We died.
Dang.
And they left us strong Europeans.
Yeah. Dang. Oh,
dang.
Trevor, what's it like? Or Colin, what's it like knowing you are the most evolved Europeans, basically? Probably feels good. You're the strongest genes. They said like the people who like survived were people who like happened to work the jobs that made them stay alive more.
Black Plague like don't get AIDS or whatever. They can't get AIDS.
Oh.
My people were slobs.
It's like people with
But there's also like people who like
sickle cell anemia can't get malaria.
Yeah, they can't get malaria.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
like
I have it.
Crazy.
Well, I don't have
It
it.
makes
I have this
sense.
strand.
It makes
so
sense
if I
that
get,
the
if I have a baby
the
with
majority of
someone who has
people-
another strand,
Really?
my child will
You
have
have
sickle
sickle
cell.
cell strength.
I have whatever it's called.
It's
The
like
recessive
there's
gene.
some people.
Yes, I have the
Recessive
recessive gene.
Your
Yeah.
mom and dad has it.
My dad has.
Really?
Yeah, so Jabari.
If I have a
Dang.
child with someone with sickle cell, then my
They'll have
child is
sickle.
screwed, basically.
My
At least they
coworker
won't get
had
malaria.
Harris
That
Theater.
gets-
Dang, pretty nice.
Your dad gets
No,
blood
that's not how it
transfusions?
works.
Wait, I
Your
thought
dad
if
gets
you
blood
have sickle
transfusions?
cell, then you don't
What do
get
you mean?
malaria.
Yeah, he doesn't have sickle cell.
No, my
I'm
dad doesn't
saying
have
if
sickle
it's-
cell.
you
He
said
had-
if
I
his
have
kid
the
got
trait.
sickle
He has
cell,
the
they'd be
trait.
screwed, and I was like, well,
So
at least they won't get malaria.
since I have the recessive
Brian, you're
gene,
trolling right
if I have
I
a
thought you
wife,
said his dad has it.
no,
Yes.
my dad just has the trait.
Wait, pause. Does Jabari have sickle cell?
That's not what I'm saying.
I'm asking you.
No, he's wondering my dad.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Does Jabari have it?
No.
No. That means if he has the gene, that only one parent had it.
His dad doesn't have it.
He has the gene.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I see what.
What is he saying?
I think he's saying he was just wondering if the dad, because since I had the trait,
I was
Yeah,
wondering
but
if one of them had it.
if one of them actually had
Who?
the thing.
None of them have it.
He was
My
asking if
dad-
he had a gene. He was asking if he actually had sickle cell
Yeah.
itself.
Wait.
None of his parents have it.
But my dad has the trait.
Yes,
He has the
That's
recessive
the
trait,
gene.
but he doesn't have it.
But wouldn't you not have the recessive gene?
No, you can pass on the recessive gene.
No, it takes
whatever.
a gene. It takes two parts of the gene. It takes double the gene and you can only get double if both your parents
Yeah.
have it.
Yeah. So you wouldn't have it.
No, I would have
no.
the
When
trait.
people say
There's a chance of getting the trait still.
they have sickle cell, that means the trait has manifested.
Yeah.
It's the recessive gene, right?
Hmm?
It's recessive gene, right?
Yeah, it's recessive.
So you can still carry on the trait.
Yeah.
Like, say, I think one of my sisters has the trait, but one of them don't. So, like, it's like a 50-50, I guess.
It's,
50-50 chance. You can get the trait still.
Yeah.
And then that just means if you have a wife and she has the trait too, your child's screwed.
That's why they and two things. One,
Unless you use
if you're
CRISPR,
black, well,
What's
come
that?
behind things. Huh?
they can snip your DNA now.
I'm scared of that.
That's-
Like my child's gonna turn into like some freaking.
That sounds freaky as fuck. Come on.
It's like a.
What if it comes out like really weird?
Just like ugly. Just
Or
like
it comes
snip
out
it.
as like some ticking time bomb.
Alright,
that's
sorry
gonna
y'all
change the
watch too
course
much anime.
Of it's gonna be a 9/11 25 years from now. He's gonna some weird. That's weird.
Yeah, like that could just
What if
mess
they-
up everything.
What if they snip the wrong gene and he still has sickle cell and he
no,
comes
okay.
out weird?
Wrong. I don't think that's not why it's messed up. I don't think they would freaking mess
I mean,
up.
you
like
never
that.
know.
The
People get
The
messed
people
up.
doing it are gonna be very qualified and capable
Mistakes
of
can
doing
be
it.
Ain't
made.
nobody getting CRISPR unless they're billionaires right now.
I mean,
Yeah.
in China, they're
It's
still
that
doing
high of a
research for
thing.
designer babies or whatever, trying to make their babies like have a smart gene or whatever, which I find weird because
it's not weird.
I mean, that's controversial. We already know. Like, I think I already argued with O'Neill about this, but I don't feel like being smart is a genetic thing.
it is a genetic.
I don't think it's genetic. I
No,
think it's a
smart is a measure of.
No, it's not.
You already know my standpoint on
Yeah.
this, but smart is a measure of the knowledge that you have, the achievement that you've gotten. What do you mean? No, I'm telling you what it is. Okay, that's why when someone says you're dumb, it's because you don't know anything.
Yeah, but IQ is a.
That's different.
See, and then that's my thing about. I don't think IQ is a very
An
reasonable
IQ
way
is a
of.
genetic and.
I don't think it is
It's not.
because I feel like
No one. IQ
someone
isn't
could be
accepted anywhere.
like the
No.
most idiotic person ever,
He's not.
but if
Yeah, no.
you taught him, like, if you kept trying to teach him.
It's different because you can just be taught anything.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. So you
the
can be taught to be
consensus-
smart.
The consensus right now is IQ means nothing.
Yep.
The idea of IQ, however, is what people agree exists.
Yeah.
IQ tests as they exist now and IQ as it is now, no one agrees that it's a thing.
Nope.
However, they're saying that they think people are inherently born
To be smart.
Genetically born to be smart.
And
well,
I
they
don't-
have a
The
capability to
yeah.
have more knowledge or have more achievement.
And I personally
And
do
that's
not
what
believe
Jabari
that
disagrees
at all, because I think that all has to do with how you were raised. There's like you could be raised to be smart, and that just means you were
Alright, I'll go
taught.
simpler.
people
Hold
with,
on.
like,
No, I'll go
ratchet
simpler terms.
parents, they're really smart.
Hold on.
But that's but I could argue that that's because they were taught in other ways. Maybe they went to they had a really great teacher who inspired
We'll go
them.
simpler.
But I don't think they were just inherently just.
What are you talking
they
about?
were
All
smarter.
those underprivileged schools, and they go to like Harvard. And
This is-
stuff.
Because they might have they might have great parents, they might have a very inspirational role model, blah 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 blah. I don't think that's because they were just genetically superior.
I don't know.
Well,
There are
That's
some
Nazi
sports-
stuff.
There are
When
some
people
hold on,
start talking
hold on.
about genetics like that, that's Nazi stuff, and you're
go
no
to-
better than the
We'll
Nazis.
go to simple facts of sports.
Well, sports is different. That's completely different because
thing
you
as
can't
your
help how
mind.
tall you are. You can't
No,
help how
not even that.
you can kind of help how
You
strong
can
you,
have
are in a way.
genetics to have faster twitch muscles and faster all that.
You can learn.
Neurologically
See,
faster.
Are we getting to the race realism?
But I feel like
I'm just
muscle
joking.
or like
Yeah.
bone structure or that, I'll admit, yes, you could be genetically superior
You
at
can
running or
learn
whatever.
anything.
But learning, I feel like anyone can learn something
I mean,
as
But
well as a
people can
professional.
learn better
Wouldn't
than
it make
other
sense
people.
that
I
if
would-
humans as a species have higher capability to learn than other species, wouldn't it make sense that individuals within the species also have that higher capability than others in their species? That would make sense.
Wait, say that again?
That there are certain individual if that's the case,
Because wait, do
Anybody
dogs
with
have
our
completely different species, or are these just like the same as how a black person and a white person is the same species? Like like a Labrador and a pug, are they the same species or are they completely different species?
I think they're
A dog.
completely different.
Well,
I
then that's
think-
different
but
because
I don't
like
think
dogs
it's
can have
completely
different
I think the
species.
differences between the species are like largely accredited due to human involvement with the dogs.
Yeah, that's why I'm wondering:
Like
are
how
they
breeds
counted as
act
species?
so differently isn't because of the breed itself. At least
Because
that's what a lot of
don't they
people
say
are saying.
some
I don't
breeds
know.
are just smarter than
Can we
other
say on
breeds?
humans? Because this dog thing is like.
The only reason I bring that up is because if you can say that like all dogs are technically the same species, and then there are certain dogs that are better at learning tricks and stuff than other dogs, then I'd be like, okay, maybe there is some type of
Wait.
genetic thing.
There are
No, but
dogs
there's-
that are smarter than others.
Exactly. So I'm wondering, are those
So
different
there's-
species or are they just the same dog?
They have different genes.
Yeah, but they have different genes because
Because
they're
they're
different
dogs.
species.
Because people.
No, no, no.
in-
Like a blue
Dogs
whale
are
and a
different
killer
because they're
whale are
bred
Let's look at
completely
something more
different.
demonstrable.
Hold on.
What about monkeys? They're obviously NASA, for example, did I don't know how many trials on monkey intelligence.
Yes.
And using the same process, controlling for all the variables, the only difference is the monkey itself. And some monkeys did better than others. Raised from birth in the same situation.
If you breed somebody with better genes, they'll be smarter and faster and better. It's so true.
I maybe.
You
Well,
don't-
I would say.
I don't know how much. The thing is, I don't know. For
Have
the
you ever
mass,
seen Trailer Park Boys?
For example, for the mass of the population, the difference that you get
It's so
because of your
insignificant.
genetics, I think, is very insignificant.
Yeah.
Especially with the amount of outlets you have
I guess
to
that makes
achieve
sense.
knowledge and all.
Because if
that
you
stuff.
really like, say for height, if you really think about it, like as a whole, height is really basically the same. Like inches is not really that big of a difference. Like between 5 foot and 7 foot, which is not even like a realistic height. But say 5 foot and 7 foot is not really that big of a difference
yeah,
in the whole
yeah,
of it.
yeah,
So we're not really that much different.
So
yeah.
you think if you took the smartest people in the world and the dumbest people in the world, you bred all the dumbest people in the world to the left, you bred all the smartest people in the world to the right, you don't think the babies of the smartest people
I
would
don't
be
think
able
so.
to learn
I
same
think Jabari
teachers,
knows. I think
same
Jabari
teachers.
knows.
Yeah, I don't think so because you could say.
It is
I mean,
how you're
in a
raised.
way,
No, it's
say
not.
like the
You don't
black
think so?
people, like people from Africa, were taken as slaves. They were technically at the time that's gonna sound mean, but they were the dumbest people technically, I guess, because they didn't receive education at all for how many years of slavery. But
Same
then now we
education.
have like after We never had education as
No,
slaves.
I'm saying.
But now we have education,
I think
and
what
there are
he's saying
smart
is
people.
that-
Doing the long term. I'm saying smartest people against dumbest people. Same
But we're
teacher,
talking about evolution
same
and
classroom.
genes. Why wouldn't you talk about long term?
Yeah, so long term, I'm saying, like
That's
genetically
what
wise.
I'm saying. Smartest people versus the
Let me
dumbest
ask you this.
people.
You have the dumbest people with all the money, all the access.
This is completely different.
Oh, that's
How?
good.
That's environmental.
But I'm showing that environmental
Has an
plays a part.
effect. That's more
Has
of an
an
effect towards being smart than your genetics.
It has an effect. I'm saying genes.
But I'm
in
seeing
general.
what Cullen's saying.
But how do
Cullen's
you
saying.
measure whether someone's
saying-
smart or dumb?
I think what Cullen's saying is that
The
if you
smartest people in the world have a different mind than normal people because of their genes.
I think what Cullen's
How do
saying
you
is
measure that?
a way to measure it is if you have some super smart genetic person and a super dumb genetic person, and you teach them exactly the same, like from birth, everything
Yeah.
is exactly.
Every-
My point is,
How do you
how
know
do you
that
know
Because
those
you
who's
can look
smarter?
at their genes.
Well, I would
and
say
see
the only way to
difference
prove that they're
between
smarter
them.
is that by taking tests. If you see, like
No,
somehow,
you
No,
can
but how do
literally
you
test
know
people's
that
genes.
person was better off from the start?
well, I was
Well,
saying
he's
like
saying-
an impossible
I'm saying
scenario.
this.
They can
I'm
look
saying
at your
this.
genes.
So just know.
They could take all your I don't know how they test genes. Take your blood or whatever, and they could take your blood, and you could have a mutated gene, and you could not have that mutated gene.
But I'm also
just a random one.
but the
But
thing
how do
is-
you know that gene is what contributed to?
But-
exactly, we don't know that.
Test.
And then also,
I mean, they supposedly know that someone's going to be gay. No.
I don't
Okay,
believe
that's
that.
just like.
But then it's also they like the brain. We know so little about the brain. Shut up, O'Neal.
They do. They said that.
But we know so little about the brain that I feel like it's also kind of hard to like quantify what
We
counts as
supposedly
smart.
don't use 100% of our brains. It's BS.
No, that's
That's
a lie.
also-
They've already
it is a
disproved
lie.
that.
I mean, I feel like everyone knows that's a lie now, which is
Yeah.
crazy. Because
Wasn't
back
it you
then,
that said we don't?
Just
no,
you
I was the
believe
one who
it.
always said we
Okay,
did.
we'll
Well,
never
everyone else
know,
said they
but
don't.
they know this.
You were. We had
Genes
an argument.
No,
make
I
a
did.
big difference.
Colin,
in a lot of
no.
things.
Cullen, remember we used to play
They
soccer?
know.
He said we don't use 100% of our brains.
I would never say that because you
Because
know
you watched
me.
that movie.
I never watched that movie.
What,
You
Lucy?
did say that.
What?
When you used
You
to,
guys are so
he
quick.
said everything on the History Channel is a complete lie. And it's never
I can't believe this.
You did.
I can't believe this.
That's the old you.
That makes no. What?
We
The
used to
old
play
me would
soccer.
literally religiously watch the Science Channel. I was in all forms a nerd, and I
I'm telling
became
you.
cool now.
Form's a nerd.
Still on genetics.
I'm cool, boy.
You're still a nerd.
Y'all need to watch documentaries on the new genetics they can do. It's literally insane. Genetics, they say, mean everything.
Is it what?
I don't believe that.
Wasn't he?
Because we're all the
That's the thing.
same. We're literally like how insignificant of a change
Every
your genetics
top
are.
sprinter mostly has the mutated gene of some sort to be a better
fast
sprinter.
twitch, whatever muscle, whatever it is.
Every single top person.
But they say your genetics can be changed. Like they say, like alcohol, for example, can affect you genetically after your first sip. And I'm like, huh?
So you're
Alcohol can
still
affect
pretty
your
nerd.
genetics? That makes no sense because I thought genetics stay the same. Well, apparently your genetics can
said
be
that?
affected.
This is the. I think this is the. This is like the
commercial.
new wave of argument. Is that a lot of the scientists in the field and stuff are offering the new idea that really no one has. It's always either genes or environment, right? And what people are saying now is that they can't exist without one another. Like your genes are how they are because people before you who pass them to you went through a certain environment that allowed them to pass those genes.
Which, again, puts me to the point. How
And then
much are we
how you
evolving
react-
from our
sorry,
environment?
I'm so sorry. That's what I was about to say. And then the other side is how you react to your environment may probably be
The Jabari gene just becomes rock on our arm,
Sorry, I
like
don't
at
think it
birth.
works like that.
I don't know.
Wait,
Well, it's
what
kind
is
of
that
like the
even
thing
relevant?
with.
I'm just saying how does evolution work?
What is that thing?
Like
that gets
it's
removed?
because
I don't know
The,
how long it takes.
Evolution. No, this is how evolution works. It's,
you have 30 seconds.
So if you have 50 people who are immune to fire, however they live in a population of 1,000 people, and everybody gets set on fire, you not only have the 50 people who were immune to have kids left alive.
But I'm saying that.
Shoot there.
Okay, but I'm saying that because we are still evolving, even though we have like 7 billion people. The chances that those people are going to die is so low. So how are we still evolving, even though we have 7 billion people? That's the question we're going to answer.